Hi Peas, welcome to another Finally Friday. I'm Candace Smith and I have your card for this week. And today we're going to be using this new paper pad by Echo Park called Sweet Day. Just love the colors, I love the brightness of it all. It's going to make a really fun card. So we're just going to use the little 6x6 pad. And I've already cut down my paper to kind of save some time. I have a piece of the pale blue polka dot and then some that's like the multicolored, looks like a chevron print, and we're just going to place them like this on our card, but we're going to stamp on the blue piece first. So I'm going to put this one to the side, and the stamp we'll be using today is this one by Hero Arts. It's called Newspaper Tulips. I've used it on a card before, just here at my house, and I just love the way that they look. It looks so neat. So we're going to use this one today, and we're going to use the walnut stain ink. It's a distress ink. And we're going to ink up our stamp to the side. And I chose a dark brown because in the pattern paper there's a dark brown, just a little bit of it, but enough that it will coordinate. And I wanted to make sure it coordinated instead of using a black that might not match as well. So I'm going to line it up on my paper. I'm just doing it off to the right hand side. I'm going to press it down. Hopefully we won't get any empty spaces. Looks good. I really love the way that turned out. Okay, so this is our stamped image and we're going to place it on our card. I have a note card all ready to go. So we're just going to adhere this piece to the top. You can see the other paper underneath it on the other side. It's a fun stripe. And so the chevron print just goes right over the top, and it's going to cover up the little space that we had at the bottom of our paper from the stamped image. So this is where we're at on our card. We've added the pattern papers and the stamps, and now I'm going to actually wrap some jute around the card. So I'm going to use my favorite tools is an X-Acto knife, and we're just going to make a slit here on the side of our card where it's folded so that it can wrap around without closing the card. So I just make a little slit, and you can't even really tell it's there. And I grab my jute, grab a long piece, I like to wrap it around like twice. So. And then I just slide it through the crack in my card 2 times. I can grab it on the back. This is the hard part though, getting it to not tangle. Okay, slide it down. And before I tie it into a bow, you can see where we're at right now. I've got my jute on both sides. Before we tie it into a bow, I wanted to add a little sticker I have on here. It's also from the Sweet Day collection by Echo Park. And as you can tell, I've already used a lot of these stickers. But I like this La 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 sticker. It's a border sticker. And we're going to be using this on the card. Sounds like I got a text message. And I'm going to actually place it right where our jute's going to be going. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball it right here. Then you can take your scissors. I probably should have done this before I did the jute, but snip off the extra. I always save these little pieces for cards later. You never know when you might need it. Okay, so we've got our little La 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 sticker on there, and so we're just going to tie the jute right above it. Tie a little bow. This stuff isn't really too hard to tie into a bow. It's just kind of squirrely because it's so curled. It's kind of hard to work with sometimes. So I'm going to do a little tiny bow because I'll show you what I'm going to do next. And then I'm just going to clip this off. I don't want too long of tails on this card. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is You've seen these around. Everybody's using them. They're my new favorite thing in the world. They're the Studio Calico wood veneer pieces, and this one is the, this just says die cut, but they're the frames. I can't see the actual name. They're the frames. They've got all different color, different sizes and shapes in here. And I'm actually going to be using just this tiny little scalped frame. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my bow through it. And I'll be using some glue dots once I get it through. Everything's harder on camera. Okay, I've got my bow through. I'm going to use my glue dots to glue it down. I'm just going to do one at the top and one at the bottom. Just to kind of frame in that bow. Turn this off so that it stops beeping at me. Okay, and now we're just going to put a little button on top of our bow, and I've chosen to go with the Doodlebug boutique buttons, and I really liked this yellow one, this little tiny yellow flower, so I'm going to cut that one out. You've seen me do this before. I just cut the little strands so I can keep the other ones intact. See, they're all in there. And I'm also going to run a little piece of jute through this. We've got some tail pieces that we used for our card that I'm going to use. Just tie a little bow in the back. And then once again I'm going to use another glue dot. I just kind of roll it till it's a little glob of glue. Okay, put on the back of our button, and we're just going to place it right in the center of our bow, like so. And you can kind of mess with the bow. I like my tails to be going separate ways. Okay, and then our last step, because we really don't have a sentiment on there unless you count the la la la's, it's just going to be like a blank card you can use for any occasion. The last thing we're going to do is we're just going to add some glitter to our flowers. And this is really fun to do. I'm sure a lot of you do it. We're going to use a Zig glue pen. And this one's just got a tiny little tip to it instead of using a broad one. So what I do is I just kind of, well, I get it going first. And then I scribble it on there. You don't have to be too fancy because I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I'm just going to use my finger, kind of rub it on there. And because there's such a busy design on the tulips, nobody's going to really see how accurate you are about getting the glitter on your paper. Let me get my fingers off. Okay, and now I'm going to grab my scrap paper to lay it on because I don't want to lose glitter. And I have some Prismaglitter here. I'm just going to shake it on. This is just one of those little tips that makes your card go to the next level. Really just gives it a little bit of extra pizzazz. And then I use a paintbrush just to kind of brush off that extra glitter, as you can see. Because it likes to stick to the paper, even if there's no glue, but eventually it will fall off. So I'll move this to the side, give it another tap. And there we have our card. And once it dries, it'll be so beautiful, and you'll be able to see your tulips even more through the glitter. And so this is just a fun little blank card you can use for any occasion, for any time, anything that you have going on. And it's a fun way to make a set of cards. Thanks for joining me. I hope you get a chance to try it out. Bye.